What's up, everybody? So I have a quick story to share with everybody because, you know what, the story that I'm about to share is a story of rejection. It's so sad, it's so embarrassing, it's so tragic. Like, what I went through on that day was just so embarrassing. But it was so embarrassing because I knew the tea, like, I knew what was gonna happen. Okay, well, let's just get straight into the story. We're gonna start from the top and get to the bottom. Get to the bottom of this. Okay, so, FBI. Okay, so, bitch, you know, one day I'm just chilling, I'm sitting down, and I'm getting a DM from somebody. You know, they were just like, hey, man, what's up? Saw you on Tinder, whatever. I was like, okay, T, like, whatever. Like, let's go through your profile. Let's see what you're serving. I'm going through the profile. I'm seeing gorgeous. Like, very handsome. You know, pictures with puppies, like, holding a puppy, like, lots of smiles, great outfits, like, just looking like a good guy. I was like, okay, let's continue the conversation. Whatever. So we're conversating, bitch, and let's just get into it. The fact was, we were texting 24/7, Instagram DMing 24/7, Snapchatting 24/7. Like, literally, there would be like 3 conversations going on at once. Like, Snapchat, Instagram, text, left, right. Like, there's 3 separate conversations. You know, like, when you're really feeling it with somebody, like, you guys are just really having the time of your lives. Like, bitch, we were conversating, like, getting down to the nitty gritty of, like, life. And we were living, and we were also Snapchatting, so he saw what I looked like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like he was gonna be fooled later on. Like, I'm not catfishing you, bitch. Like, my picture on Instagram are the tea, like, I look great, like, let's be real. But also in Snapchat, like, I'm serving you, like, I look like what I look like, bitch. I'm not fooling anybody. Like, there's no lighting tricks. Like, I am who I am. Okay, so, rewind, actually, because in my Instagram, my pictures are very, like, They look very, you know, butch. Like, I'm serving very mask, I feel like. Very mask for mask. Like, anyone who doesn't know me and then looks through my pictures thinks, like, I'm one of those mask for mask bros. Like, yo, bitch, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like, that type of bitch. Like, a frat guy. Like, I get it, because that's what my looks... Like, I look like that, and I dress like that, and my pictures, like, I pose like that. Like, if you look through my Instagram, it does look like that. Like, I get it. And so, because I know what I'm serving look-wise, I know how I look like in a brand image, bitch... I said, I was like, listen, I know what my pictures look like, so I'm just gonna let you know right now that that's not what I'm serving in real life. Like, yeah, I look like that, and I'll dress like that, and shit like that. And, you know, whatever. But my voice is definitely, you know, it's flamey. Like, let's be real. It's a queenie type of voice. Like, it's not deep at all. It's got that, like, that gay texture. Like, let's just really keep it real, because I always keep it real with the bitches. Because, you know, when you're looking through Tinder, you're looking through Instagram, all you see are pictures. So you don't really know what this person acts like. You know what I mean? And I get that my acting does not fit the image. So I said that, bitch. I said it multiple times. I was like, if you don't like that, let me know now, because I'm not trying to waste my time right now, bitch. You know what I mean? If you don't like it, let me know. And he was like, you know what? No, like, that's not a problem at all. Like, I don't, like... care really, something along those lines, pretty much. Like, I don't care. He was like, how bad could it really be, like, etc, like, I don't give a fuck. And I was like, okay, T, well, I said what I said, so, you know, we're not gonna worry about it anymore, because I said what I fucking said. And he was like, yeah, bitch, well, you know what, like, I listen to, like, J-Lo sometimes, so, like, you know, I can serve gay too. And I was like, J-Lo? First of all, what the fuck? Like, I love J-Lo, but who would say, like, who would use J-Lo as their example? And that's when I knew that we were not on the same page, possibly, because, like, what? He was like, yeah, like, J-Lo and, like, he used some other, maybe Mariah, I think he said. And I was like, okay, those are 2 strange options to use. Maybe it's because I said I love Mariah. I don't fucking know. Whatever, the point is, you know... We were still on the same footing. Like, I said what I said. I was like, bitch, it's really gay. Like, don't... Like, I'd be moving my hands. Like, there's a lot going on. And whatever, he didn't give a fuck. So I was like, okay, fine. So, bitch, 2 more weeks after that, we're still serving combos left and right. Like, left and right. Like, when I say that we were talking 24 hours of the day, pretty much, I said what I said. Like, we really were. So, like, I'll be at work, I'm getting Snapchats, I'm getting texts, I'm getting this. Like, we know so much about each other in those 2 weeks because we were just constantly talking. So, obviously, you enjoyed my personality. Let's be real. We really were serving a connection. Okay. So, every other day, he'd be like, bitch, let's FaceTime, let's get on FaceTime. Like, he was, like, so obsessed with this concept. And I was like, okay. And keep in mind, before the FaceTime thing, like, he was still saying, like, oh, you should come over. Like, we should hang out tomorrow. Like, we should hang out tonight. We should do this. We should do that. Whatever the fuck. And I was saying it too, like, yeah, bitch, like, come on through, like, let's hang out. And, like, we were definitely planning on that, and then one day he was like, okay, let's FaceTime. I was like, okay, great. So, bitch, we FaceTime, and keep in mind, this FaceTime was 40 minutes long, so obviously the conversation was great. I thought it was going great. Like, we were having a great time. It was long as hell. 40 minutes to FaceTime somebody, like, obviously you're enjoying the conversation. I don't give a fuck what you say. Like, if you didn't like it, you would have hung up. Or you would have made an excuse to hang up, right? Whatever. So, 40 minutes passed, and as I'm talking, I just feel like, I don't know, like, when I was talking, I felt like he was, like, looking at me in some type of way. Like, I could, like, see the thoughts in his head. Like, I just felt it. Like, you just get a vibe. Like, my intuition is high, bitch. Like, I'm not playing with you. So when I'm talking, I was like, I feel like he's, like, judging. Like, girl, he's not having it. He's not having it. Like, he's loving the conversation, but something is off. Something is off. Okay, so the 40-minute FaceTime finally ends. And, right after, I did not receive a text. So I was like, let me text back. Whatever. And I said something like, oh, that was, like, a nice conversation. Like, whatever, something along those lines. And he was like, yeah, whatever. It was very like, yeah, like something like that. And I was like, because usually, like I said, bitch, he's sending paragraphs on paragraphs, like 24-hour conversations, like, and it was never like, yeah, okay, lol. Like, it was always like 3 texts, and they were all long as fuck. So going from that to like, yeah, lol, whatever, I was like, weird. So I was like, you're like so cute, whatever. He was like, yeah, you too. Again, weird, just like weird, like a weird vibe going on. So I was like, what the fuck? Like, now I'm pissed because I know for a fact it was because of my voice, because I looked great. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always looking good. And, the conversation was great. My personality, like, obviously you like it from conversation. So, like, what the fuck is the problem? So I just knew it was my voice. Like, I just knew it. I knew it had to be that. So we were planning on hanging out that night, actually, I think. Like, after the FaceTime conversation, we were supposed to hang out, I believe. So he texted me later on and he was like, by the way, I can't come over, like, I'm tired, like, I'm running off 4.5 hours of sleep, so, I'm not coming over. And I was like, okay, that's fine, like, I don't give a fuck. I was tired too, bitch, like, it was getting late, it's like 11 p.m., like, I'm over it. So, I said, okay, so how about, maybe tomorrow? He was like, yeah, possibly, I'll let you know, like, whatever. Which, by the way, don't possibly let me know if what you're gonna do the next day is what he did. So the next day, bitch, Friday, do you know that this bitch completely deaded me? Like, completely just, like, disappeared out from under. Like, he just went and buried himself into the ground like a groundhog and really left me out squandering, bitch. Like, this is why I made sure to say in the rest of the story, like, we were serving 24/7 conversations because it was, like, back and forth all day, so long, paragraphs. So to go from that to the next day right after we FaceTime, all of a sudden, you're opening my Snapchats, you're not answering. You didn't text me back. You're just opening everything, you're not answering, you're not texting me. Like, meanwhile, every morning he would be like, good morning, how was your day? Like, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, now you're, like, just gone from the world. So I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's, like, so fucked up. Like, at least have the courage to say something like, oh, I'm not interested. Okay, fine, next, you know what I mean? But don't just, like, go from total 24/7 conquest to completely deading someone, because, like, I feel like that's so immature, it's so rude, it's just fucking disrespectful. Like, I would never do that to somebody, I'm sorry. Especially if I was talking to you for so long, I would never, at least, like, if you don't have the courage to say something, fucking smooth it, like, start to dissipate yourself from the situation, you know what I mean? Like, instead of talking 24/7, make it, like, 25, you know what I mean? Like, something like that, like 20 hours 5 days instead of 24 7 days. Like, start dissipating yourself from the situation, whatever. So on Saturday, I Snapchatted him again. He didn't answer. I was like, okay, this is getting fucking ridiculous, because I want an answer. So I Snapchatted, I said, do we have a problem here? Like, what's the fuck's the problem? And he writes back, the little texting thing, and was like, what do you mean? I was like, girl, he said, what do you mean? So I was like, oh, never mind, like, I thought you were ignoring me, like, completely, so whatever. He writes back, LOL. Just LOL. And I was like, girl, this attitude, like, he never, like, LOL, just LOL, like, that's fucking rude. And, like, especially, like I said, when you were always serving LMAO, like, all these emojis, like, going off all the time, and then you're just gonna send me LOL. So I was like, you're fucking rude. So I was like, okay, well, I just went straight to the point, and I said, listen, bitch, if you're not interested, let me know. Like, if you're not interested, let me know. That's it. And he was like, yeah, sorry, I didn't want to be a dick, but, like, I'm not interested anymore. And I was like, okay, like, rude. But I was like, okay, so what's the tea? Like, what was the problem? And he was like, that voice just isn't for me. And I was like, first of all, that voice, like, that's so fucking rude. Like, at least just be like, you know, your voice is just not attractive to me. Like, that's all you have to say. Like, for my personal taste, I don't like it. Not that voice is not for me. Like, that voice, like, bitch, it's like a separate, like, entity. Like, what's going on? Like, don't be fucking rude. Like, what's wrong with people? Like, you people are fucking rude. So, whatever. I was like, okay, well, that's fine. Like, you know, not everybody's for everybody, whatever. He was like, oh, I'm so glad you're being so cool about this. Like, blah, blah, blah. He was like, your personality is great. You're so attractive. Pretty much he was like, just like gloating, like living. He was like, personality is great. You're so cool. You're so cute. You're so handsome. Blah, 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 blah. But that voice is not for me. I was like, that is so fucked up because, really, girl? Like, you love everything except the voice, and that's gonna make you completely dead me and ignore me completely. Like, I feel like that's so fucked up. And it's so close-minded, sis. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, you like everything except the voice, and you're gonna completely dead me for it? Like, I feel like, at least, you know, hang out, maybe. You don't have to, but, like, give it a little bit of a chance if you like everything else, right? Because, bitch, when I was on FaceTime with this bitch, I was like, okay, you know what? In his pictures, he looked a little more in shape, and in video, you know, he's serving me a little, you know, a little tricky neck, you know, like, he definitely looked like, he had a dad bod, like, you can tell. And then when I went, like, his recent pictures that he's been posting on stories, like, giving you dad bod, like, totally, like, not in shape, which is fine. Like, I'm just saying my preference is in shape. Like, I like in shape people, which, like I said, it's a preference. So when I saw him in video and I'm seeing dad bod, I was like, well, I'll get over it. Like, I'm liking everything else, so who gives a fuck? You know, you gotta be open-minded. Like, who gives a fuck? But obviously he was not in the same mind thought, bitch. Like, he was like, girl, I don't like this one thing, so you gotta go. But, bitch, I didn't like one thing about you either, but you didn't see me running for the hills, you know what I mean? Like, and deading you and ignoring you. Like, that's fucked up. That's what I feel. So let me know how you guys feel about that conversation, because I just feel like, first of all, have you guys ever been rejected for some stupid bullshit like that? Like, that's some bullshit. Especially when I warned you beforehand. Like, if you knew that you didn't like that type of thing, then why would you, like, continually still talk? You know what I mean? And on top of that, you liked everything, but that is gonna make you dead me completely. Like, that's so fucked up. And this bitch stays liking my pictures still. Like, likes all my Instagram pictures and shit like that, but he won't conversate. Like, sends without Snapchat just to be nice. Like, what's up? No answer. You can't, like, you don't want to be, like, friendly, like, you know what I mean? But you're gonna like all my shit still. Like, which one is it? I don't need your ass anyway. And by the way, you know, he's talking to all this, you know, I don't like that voice. Whatever, I guess he's trying to say, like, it's Femi, obviously. But, bitch, this bitch was moving his hands all around, left and fucking right during that conversation. Like, hands galore. Like, all the conversation was, like, hands were flying left and right. So, you know, what if I was, like, nah, you too gay for me, sorry. I could have easily said that, bitch, because you were serving hands left and right. Yeah, your voice was, like, more deep, but it wasn't, like, some masculine, like, you know what I mean? It wasn't so deep and masculine. Like, it was just, like, an average voice. So, don't get on your high horse, bitch, fatty. So, I'm sorry, like, he deserves that, because that was just so, it was the ignoring that was fucked up. Like, it wasn't like he just came right after and was like, you know what, I just don't feel like, oh, he could have lied and be like, I just don't feel like we connect as much as I thought once we FaceTimed. But he knew that would be a lie, because, bitch, we were FaceTiming for 40 minutes. Like, who FaceTimes for 40 minutes if they're not liking what they're saying or what they're hearing, right? That's what I feel like. It was just a fucked up situation top to bottom. Like, I'm so over it. So I just wanted to share that conversation with you guys. Let me know how you guys feel about that story, because I feel like it's so fucking stupid. And, you know, let me know about your fucked up stories. Like, anyone just dead you for some dumbass reason, let me know. And, bitch, thanks for watching. Let me know if you guys want some more story times in 2019. I will definitely be doing more album reviews, obviously. So drop down lots of suggestions for future videos. And follow me on Instagram, bitch. Follow me on Twitter. Do what you gotta do. Subscribe for more. Thumbs up if you liked the video. And thanks for watching.